New Zealand! Aye. Who's out trying to flex a little good but they ain't all rich?
Who?
He got Da Vinci shirts but his bank account ain't worth shit.
Who?
Now I'm sitting here trying to figure out why him. Just cause he crept the classy outfit. Gotta show I'll give you more than this prick. They can never be like me. They can never rob my way. See, I want your heart, but your heart's on nice and your man's trying to rob my way. Welcome everybody. My name is Singe.
I'm Alex.
And welcome to the Off the Top podcast.
The podcast nobody wanted,
but everybody asked for. How you going? As usual, haven't seen you for a couple weeks, you know? What's the update? What's the goss?
No, but this time we actually haven't seen each other for like a couple of weeks. Usually I go over to his house because I'm unemployed and, you know, annoy him. And this couple of weeks I haven't seen you.
Yes.
Yes, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. You know, kind of needed a little break. Just been going through things, you know, getting $3,000 fines that I don't need and all these kind of things. But yeah, no, we're here today and let's hope this podcast brings positivity. Podcast and positivity. Keeping it PG. Anyways, what else is going on? Have you done any interviews? Interviews. Have you done any auditions?
No, I have done a few auditions actually. And a few of them were in languages I couldn't speak.
Like what?
I can't say, so don't ask me that question.
I'm not asking you what the fucking plot
Anyways,
of the movie is. What language?
No, I did some auditions and yeah, it's just been, you know, groovy times.
Oh yeah? Did you have to speak like Spanish or Indian or what? Chinese?
No, I had to speak Māori.
Oh, that's all good.
Yeah, but it's embarrassing to say. I'm Māori and I can't speak Māori.
Whakarongo, eh, boy. That's all I know. Whakarongo and whare paku. Anyways.
What?
There's a lot that's happened in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. It's been crazy. The amount of stuff that's happened around the world in the past 2 weeks is like, it's all over the show.
Yeah, it's crazy how much shit can happen within like 14 days, right? I mean, as you guys know, we film every 2 weeks, and quite interesting and mind-blowing the events that happen within 2 weeks sometimes. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're funny, and sometimes they're like our first topic, which is quite devastating.
Really, really heartbreaking, and the fact that it's still happening in 2022 is beyond me.
So on that note, what are we talking about on this episode?
We're going to be talking about the shooting that happened in Texas, which is just heartbreaking. We're going to be talking about, and I didn't bring this topic, but he did, monkeypox.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what We're going to talk about the movie that I said would be a great movie to watch, and he's gone and watched it.
Yay!
He's gone and watched it.
Everything, nothing, and nowhere.
We're going to talk about Kendrick Lamar's album, just like, you know, digest that a little bit, and we're going to touch on platonic friendships. Can females and males have platonic friendships? That's all coming up in this episode.
So in the last few days, a tragedy has happened yet again in America, in Texas. 19 children were gunned down, along with 2 adults, 2 teachers. Very heavy stuff, yet it seems to be a continuous cycle in that country. It's
really, really tough to talk about it, obviously, you know, as we are living here in New Zealand. We're quite sheltered to this sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's a normality for a lot of people in America. You know, they have, in schools now, they have procedures of practicing what happens if there's a shooter coming into your school. They have, you know, here in New Zealand, we had fire drills and earthquake drills.
Yeah.
And even though those things are, you know, bad and good to have those procedures, never had a shooting drill to what would happen if there was a killer loose in your school.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that they have to now train kids to, now this is what we're going to do if there's a mass shooter. That in my opinion is just fucked straight from the gate. It's like, why do we even have a thing where there are mass shooters, where there are people walking into kindergartens and primary schools and just schools in general and just shooting down people because I was bullied. It's like that makes no fucking sense. The thing I find hard to come to terms is that as a parent myself, there were a few parents there that were observing the police just kind of planted outside of the school, yet weren't really going in and doing anything. And they were like, bro, if you guys don't do something, we're gonna fucking run in there, right? Because like all we can hear is gunshots, people screaming, and you guys are just staying still waiting. And I watched the clip literally this morning where one of the police officers said, yeah, America has to understand that, yes, there was like obviously a horrendous tragedy happening inside of the school at the time, but police have to also like make sure that they're not like a target in the gunfire and blah, blah, blah. For me, the first thing that came to mind is, you guys are wearing body armor. You guys are fucking trained for this type of shit, aren't you?
It's your job.
It's your job. Yet you're going, oh, we'll just let a few more 5-year-olds fucking die before we run in there because it's not that serious right now and I don't want to get hit. It's like, bro, that was just mind-boggling of an answer to say, oh yeah, we just wanted to make sure the police officers were safe. It's like, this is what they trained to do. They're trained to go in there while there is a mass shooter in a bank, in a school, in a library, whatever, like in a public setting. And you're just sitting there going, wait, it might be dangerous for us to go in there. Yet you can hear these fucking kids screaming because somebody's blowing their brains out. It's just infuriating to hear that, especially, again, as a parent. It's just like, it's like, what the fuck? Like, if my child was in there, I'm running in there. I don't give a fuck, eh?
Yeah, that's what was crazy, again, when, you know, I saw some clips of policemen kind of barricading off parents, and parents were like, I don't care if I get hit in the crossfire. I want to go and save my child.
Yeah.
I want to get my child out of there. I don't care if I die. I would rather die saving my child.
Of course.
And the fact that they were just barricading these parents in, and, you know, how horrific it would be to hear gunshots and children screaming, knowing your child is in there, is ridiculous. Another thing that I think is ridiculous, the fact that you can buy a firearm, not even like a little like pistol or anything, you can get army grade weapons at 18 in America just by going down and walking to the shop like it's getting a bottle of milk, but yet they can't drink alcohol until they're 21.
Yeah, you know what's crazy?
What?
The crazy thing for me is when I was in America, we went to, I think it was like Walmart or something that was like Kmart. I think it was Walmart. And we were in there and I'm looking in the section and I said to my mate at the time, I was like, bro, what is this? And he was like, bro, those are bullets. And I was like, for like $12.99. I was like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah, like it's regular to sell bullets. I guess for me being from here in New Zealand where guns aren't a major issue like that, thankfully. But I was just like, yeah, I guess I was just mind blown that like, holy shit, I can walk into Kmart and buy bullets for a gun. The argument in America right now from what I'm seeing is that like 90% of Americans agree that everybody needs to be checked. Like, I agree with this thing, right? Guns don't kill people. Stupid motherfuckers with guns kill people. Crazy people with guns kill people. And the argument in America is we want everybody to get a fucking mental health check before like allow them to purchase these weapons.
There should be a prerequisite.
Yeah, what's that?
It's like a prerequisite. Like there should be, like you have to take a test before you buy a gun and you have to pass the test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. But it's just, like you said, it seems like, well, you're 18 now, so here's your gun.
But no alcohol. Like the math isn't mathing.
Yeah. It's almost like they want these things to continue to happen. And it's crazy because, like, yeah, again, a lot of Americans I'm seeing on my timeline are just like, so what are we meant to do? Just be like, oh, yeah, our prayers and condolences and thoughts to the kids that have died again. And, yeah, let's just have a moment of silence. And now let's move on with life. It's like, bro, this shouldn't be a normal thing, man.
The question I have is, when is enough enough? Like, how many more shootings do you need for, you know, it to be enough for you to be like, okay, yeah, maybe we'll crack down on, you know, the gun laws here in America. And the reason they won't is because it brings in billions and billions of dollars.
So back in the days when, like, the first school shooting started happening, when I was still in school, me and my friends would always think, like, why don't they just, like, ban all guns, you know? And then there were all these reasons. And I was like, as a kid, I was like, I don't think that that reason is valid. Now as an adult and understanding, I understand why they want to still keep their guns. They want to keep their guns because if the government takes all their guns away and then the government implies, like, let's say, new lockdowns, new rules, new laws, and they go into, like, let's say, martial law, guess who can protect themselves? Not them. And the only people that have guns now will be the government. So I understand that. That's why I say guns are okay, but dumb motherfuckers with guns are not okay. And the way that their system is set up, it seems like any dummy can go and grab a gun and do whatever they want or will with it.
I think it's like similar here in New Zealand. You have to have a gun license to own a gun.
Yeah.
It should be the same in America. And
Yes.
it shouldn't be easy to get.
I personally haven't been watching too much of the news because as a parent, I get very emotional when I see other parents like mourning their child that just got gunned down. It's fucking heartbreaking, man. And a part of me just gets really angry that I live in a world where these types of things are almost becoming normal now. And it's just weird. It's sick. It's fucked up, man.
You know, if anyone watching this, you were affected by it, or maybe you've got friends and family over in America, we hope that they're safe. But just, you know, our biggest condolences going out to you guys, because no one ever wants to go through that.
I did hear the gunman's mother speak this morning, and she was basically saying, like, he had his reasons. Please don't judge him, forgive him, and all this. And I was like, bro, if you fucking murdered my child, I don't give a fuck what your reason is. You need the death penalty straight away, ASAP, in front of everybody, like medieval times. I know that's fucked up, but you got to understand, like, this is wrong. This is wrong, and these people are just getting away with it because they're just saying, I was insane. The devil took over me. I was bullied. It's like...
Something needs to happen fast.
As cliche as this sounds, like, our prayers and condolences are with the families that were affected by this. Because, yeah, that's just fucked up.
Throughout our couple of weeks, Nathan and I do have a prep sheet that we share, and we plot down all of our ideas. I know you don't give a shit about that.
I was going to say, they don't care about that.
Yeah, sorry. But Nathan put down monkeypox. I don't know what monkeypox is. What's chickenpox? What are we talking about?
Yeah, well, I don't really know what any of this shit is. Nobody knows what this is until it appears on our television. So there is a new virus apparently out there. It's called monkeypox.
What?
I made a little joke on my Instagram post the other day that if you catch it, you're going to turn into a monkey. I know, it's a dumb joke. I get it, but I'm just trying to point out how ridiculous the overall theme of this thing is, you know? Ooh, monkeypox. It's the new thing that's trending that's going to get ya. It's just like, no. And doctors have already come out and said, bro, the risk factor to this monkeypox is like 0 to nothing. Not 0, but you know what I mean?
What is
it's
it?
like
This is the first time I've heard of this.
yeah, it's basically chicken pox. It was apparently originated from somewhere in South Africa. I don't know, bro. I'm just like, dude, are you guys serious? I kind of look at this like, I feel like they're doing this to keep the majority of public in fear a little bit, like, okay, COVID's over, but don't forget there's other viruses out there, and they kind of come from the similar origin that if you have flu-like symptoms again, if you cough, if you're wheezy, if you got a runny nose, go get checked. You might need the monkeypox vaccine as well now. It's a bit overboard.
I think 100% overboard. I think that's just like the history of life, though. Like when there was the plague, then there was, you know, the fucking swine flu, and then there was Ebola, and then there was, and all of these are horrendous diseases, obviously, but there's always something next.
Yeah, and I feel like there always is going to be something next. Now that everybody understands, again, nobody's going to fucking, you know, COVID is basically a flu, and depending on your, you know, your health circumstances, it'll affect you either this way or that way. But at the end of the day, that's just like any other virus. If you already have like a health condition and you catch something that's very minor to the mass population on the world, you might be the 1% that actually gets affected, as in terms of like a fatality or something, you know? But yeah, this whole run in media of monkeypox, and I saw the guy on News Hub, should we be scared of this, doctor? Should we be afraid? It's like, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, what are you doing? I know what you're doing, the theatrics of, oh my God. But it's just like, come on now, man. This is getting a bit silly, you know? It's a bit silly. It's just chicken pox. Just swap the chicken with the monkey. And
next it'll be elephant.
Yeah, I already thought of that one. The elephant pox, the giraffe pox, the lion pox. And also, but yeah, I see this as another way of just letting the people know that there is still fear out there. Don't get comfortable because we might have to endure another lockdown or pandemic somewhere down the road in a few months or a few years.
And
then more vaccines. And
sorry.
It is quite interesting that these campaigns for monkeypox have come up around booster clock. I know you're due for your booster soon, aren't you?
My vaccine pass has expired.
Yes, but I know from speaking to a lot of people who have had their jabs, their boosters are required around June. And guess what month it is next week? You're
June.
right, it's June. This is just one of many diseases and viruses they're going to be bringing up now. Because COVID was put on a massive pedestal in front of the whole world, it's like, now that we got your attention with that, let us tell you all these other viruses that are coming. Now, you know, we try to get you with the mutant strains of COVID, and there's another strain and blah, 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 blah. But now it's like a whole new virus. And it's just, yeah, it's just more tactics to keep you scared and fearful for your life in case you die from catching something that's not going to kill you.
The question I want to know, and if you can answer or add your 2 cents in, and obviously leave it in the comments as well if you want to answer. Can men and women strictly have platonic friendships, or does one always end up liking the other, or does one always start from the jump liking the other? I've just been seeing a lot of, videos around this on social media floating up for the past, couple of weeks, celebrities speaking out on it. So I just wanted to gauge everyone's thoughts.
For me, I've had many relationships with women that are just friends. I believe humans are able to have platonic relationships between men and women and still have their own partners on the side and look at nothing more than that as one of my best friends. I guess our emotions sometimes can overcome those thoughts, though, when you start going, wait, is there actually a deeper reason why I think of her or him as my best friend? And then you start going down that lane of maybe it's because I love them. But I don't know. I have had a lot of girlfriends. They were mainly when I was in high school. And then as I got older, I still had girlfriends, but it's hard to say they were platonic because for me, it's like I kind of had more than a platonic thing with them sometimes. But at the same time, we both understood that we were just friends. Like, it was never like a weird, awkward thing where it's like, oh, you think we're like boyfriend and girlfriend or something like that. I've had a few friends where I would go and hang out with them and just chill, and we wouldn't hook up or anything. We just literally hung out because we liked each other's company. Then sometimes, if it was late at night, maybe something. But what I'm saying is it's hard because you're talking about like platonic relationships where there's no sexual attraction involved or anything like that. So yeah, can it work? Yeah, it can. Can it be a bit difficult if you have like a partner? Maybe, especially if your partner's like, wait, you're not that comfortable or that nice or friendly when you're with me, yet you're like that with Steve. And it's a bit tricky. Run DMC.
Few things I feel like I have on this topic, and you can come at me in the comments if you completely disagree. I feel like it's a lot easier for women to have platonic friendships than it is for males. I feel like males often tend to fall for the female more often than we do. Like, I've had, and this isn't to sound like a wanker or an asshole, but whatever, I've had a lot of guy friends who have ended up liking me, and I'm like, dude, when did this cross? Like, we were such good friends, and I thought it held such a deeper meaning towards like, something more as a friendship, and then it's like, oh, so all those nice things you did were because you liked me. I think that's when stuff starts to get blurred. So I will say, I feel like for myself as a female, I always go into, I have a lot of guy friends, and I always go into them as like, this is strictly platonic. There's nothing between us. But I think men find it a lot more difficult.
You're right. And as a male who's done that a couple times, I understand, like, yeah, I can't disagree with that. I would have to agree because, you know, a lot of the platonic relationships that I had, especially when I was in like I said, in high school, I started like developing more than platonic feelings for these people because I was like, wow, we get along so well. Doesn't that mean we should be together forever? Let's marry now.
And that is exactly what I mean. I don't know. Sound off in the comments. We want to hear from you.
So I finally got a chance to sit down and listen to Kendrick Lamar's new album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
Same.
I'm just going to say straight off the bat, I fucking loved it. I really, really loved it, eh? Like I said in the last pod, flows, all that kind of stuff, music. But then the overall topic of the album is the thing that I really loved. I loved that it was still a concept album. And the concept being he is in therapy. And he is expressing everything that you probably would in therapy, but to the world. I related to a lot of the songs that he expressed on that album. It had a cinematic tone to it. I loved how all of the songs kind of interconnected to the next song after. I had my favorites, but before we get there, what did you think of it?
It's interesting because when I was talking to a few friends about the album who are in my generation, they were all like, boo, it's not To Pimp a Butterfly, boo, it's not, no, let's do up and do all this shit, boo, it sucks, boo, this Kendrick Lamar's too theatrical, boo. I was like, shut up. I can understand a fan base and like, yeah, we know what Kendrick Lamar has to offer and we know what he's done before, so why isn't this album like the last one? It's like, that's the whole point of music, is to evolve, to make different sounds. You're constantly changing, especially as an artist and a creative, from what you liked 3 years ago is not what you're going to like in 3 years' time. Yeah. That's just what happens when you record music and when you're an artist. And so when I was talking to I feel like just a lot of people in my generation are idiots, but that's besides the point. And so when listening to music, like, I just feel like my generation love dumb music. And that's fine. I'm not saying everyone in my generation is like that, but a lot of them are. And a lot of people that I've talked to about the album didn't like it. Personally, myself as an artist, he's second to none. The way that he can transpose a song and start it in one tempo and it ends in a completely different tempo is something that not everyone can do. No.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Gen Z saying, there's no bangers on here. What is this? Yeah. This doesn't sound like damn. This is... Yeah, because it's over your fucking head because you guys are still 12 years old. Yeah, you're 24, 25, whatever. A lot of the younger listeners aren't ready for accountability. They're not ready to be honest with themselves. They're still in the, let's get pissed, bro. Let's just get fucked up. Let's just have sex everywhere, man. So this album isn't really for them. But for me, oh my God, man, he was saying so much, like, you're back outside, but they still lied. Like, as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, fuck, I know what I'm in for. I'm so glad he's speaking about this shit. The first single, N95, he's talking about, obviously N95 is the stupid mask that we had to wear that doesn't work to protect us from COVID-19. But on top of that, the actual theme of the song is taking off everything, taking off the filters on Instagram, taking off your mask that you wear when you go and meet different people or new people, whatever. It's taking all that off, and what do you have at the end of the day? You're ugly as fuck. Now, it's a funny line because you're thinking just for face value, you're ugly, But he's talking about take everything off and let me see what you really look like. Are you actually a nice human being or are you just posing for the fucking cameras? Another song that I really loved, which was actually my favorite song on the whole album, was We Cry Together. Kendrick Lamar and this female, who's not even a rapper, she was actually an actor. So he got an actor to come in and they're having an argument. The song starts off with, this is what the world sounds like. And then it's just these two arguing and just going at each other back and forth. Fuck you, nah, fuck you, nah, fuck you. I'll fuck your friends, I'll fucking do this. Oh, well, fuck you, bitch. And it's very, like, violent with its words in terms of, like, cursing and all that kind of stuff. But that is an honest description of what relationships are like behind closed doors. Again, going back to the take the mask off. When we go outside, I'm going to be holding hands with my partner, smiling, nice to meet you. But you don't get to see, nobody sees what everybody's like as soon as the doors close and curtains are closed. You get that song. And then the irony that it ends with them having sex and, falling back in love with each other. The toxicity of that relationship, it's just, I loved it, eh? It almost reminded me of like, this is his version of Kim from Eminem.
Oh,
Because it's a great back and forth conversation. There's no bars or anything, but there's this conversation happening, and it's almost like you're watching two people have an argument, and you're like, fuck, what is going on? I love that song. What's a song that stood out for you?
I don't know what it's called, but I've been going through something. 1,000
the intro,
days,
yes.
I've been going through
United
something.
with grief.
And I was like, when I heard it, I was like, oh shit. Like, he's really telling you as an artist, yeah, I've been going through changes. I've been going through something, bro. And this is why I didn't drop music, and this is why it's taken so long. And I'm going to show you what I've really been going through my tracks. Like, that's a true depiction of what artists aim to do that very rarely few actually can complete. Like, it's props where props are due.
Yeah. It's a really, really, really intelligent and great album. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers by Kendrick Lamar. Please go check it out when you can. I'm his publicist. No. Real quick with music, I just want to shout out to the local boys. You may have heard the song in the intro of the podcast. One of my great friends, William Singe, has released his new single, Indie Flex, featuring Lissy, hey, however you want to say it, eh?
Oh my God.
Donnell Lewis, another great friend of mine. Dalla,
Delaway.
I love ya, brother. And the bro Malik. The video's out now. I filmed the video, edited it, mixed and mastered the song. My friend, William Singe, Indie Flex. Go and check it out.
It's time for our weekly movie review. And Nathan has gone to go and see the movie that I said would be a great movie to go and watch that we reviewed sort of last week, but I didn't go and see it, and now you've gone and seen it.
Yes, I got a chance to go see Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. The movie buffs that I get recommendations from really recommended this movie, and when they started doing that, I was like, okay. And they
mine wasn't enough.
Oh, yes, yours was 5-year-olds on TikTok, but I actually went and checked the trailer out. It actually looked pretty cool. I was like, okay, this is interesting. It's not what you described, but it seems pretty cool. So my partner then a week later said, hey, have you heard of this movie? I was like, yeah. She was like, let's go see it. So I downloaded it. And
Nathan.
I liked it. Bit confused because I'm not going to lie, it starts off like a very serious movie, like we're about to get into something cool, like, it's got some depth and substance and stuff like that, and I'm loving it. Then all of a sudden they're like secret agents and they're doing kung fu moves, and now it's an action film, kind of like a Marvel film. Now we're going through different universes. Nobody's explained how we've got here. Well, I didn't catch it. I was fucking stoned when I watched it, but
my God.
I didn't really understand that how we transitioned into this time traveling business, and now this guy who was her partner.
You don't say the whole movie. No.
But without giving too much away.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Spoiler alert. So the daughter's gay. Okay?
No.
That's not a spoiler really. It's like saying the wife is married. Like, anyways, the point being is it goes through this crazy story. The movie's like 2.5 hours. They break it up into 3 different parts. For me, it just got to the end and I was like, so we went through all of that just so you could accept your daughter that she was gay. That's fucking whack. Like, as in terms of like, wait, we just went through this whole whirlwind of different fucking things. It's really bizarre. Like, it's really bizarre. There's a point where I'm not going to give away too much, but I will say one thing. There's a point where these guys start doing this action scene, but they've got like things shoved up their asses while they're doing it. It's really quite bizarre. Like, it really is. And all this commotions happening, and we're time traveling, and now we're here and there, and it's all because she needed to learn to accept that her daughter was gay. And I was like, that's fucking dumb. Like, give me something a bit more. Like, so what, your daughter's gay? Like, I thought we were going to get to the end of this movie and you were going to realize, don't regret your choices that you make, because just go with your heart, because you can end up anywhere in this lifetime. But I don't know, something a bit more than just, I had to accept that my daughter was gay and I do that now. And it's just like, That's dumb.
Well, you're not selling it for me, are you?
No, I still recommend to go see it because you guys might actually find something else. Like you guys might be in the comment section going, no, bro, Sesh, the movie is actually about this. And I might have to go back and actually rewatch it. But from my first watch, I was like, this is cool. This is fun. It's weird. Now people have dildos as fingers. It's real weird. But then it ends with just like, I have to accept my daughter's gay. And obviously I got nothing against gay people, but just as in like a storyline, like the build up is that. And I'm just, well, that's what I got from it. And I was like, that's fucking dumb.
I think though, for a lot of people that struggle with it, particularly America and, all the laws that go on over there with the LGBTQ plus community, I think like in movies, it's hard for people. Don't.
Oh, sorry.
Don't.
What's the plus? Plus
no,
what?
No.
Minus.
No, Nathan.
Okay.
LGBTQ plus community in America still takes a lot of flack and they don't get recognized a lot when it comes to like big films, like movies and stuff like that. Like the very first gay romance movie is currently being in the works and it's taken, this long for that to happen when it's such a normal thing in society. So I think that like, yes, you and I know I know exactly what you would have been like at the end of the movie. Like, are you kidding me? I just sat through 2.5 hours for that.
That's exactly what I thought.
Because I know for us here in New Zealand, like it's so normal to us. Like it's so sweet. Like I think that we're just so accepting of that community. There are a lot of people that aren't, but I feel like majority of us are so accepting. So I don't know. I think that for the grand scheme of things, probably had to do with just getting that message across for people that are in America.
I guess so, but
yeah,
I wasn't meaning like yes, I agree. Like we're a bit more up there when it comes to this whole topic of like gay people and stuff like that. For me, it was more so from like a movie perspective of like, so you put us through 2.5 hours of that just to come to this conclusion where it was like, that's not a big deal, bro. Give me something else. Did she learn anything about her fucking life? Because that's what we just went through. I don't know. Just a bit confused. Anyways, everything, everywhere, all at once. Go and see it. So yeah, that was a nice, hard and fast little podcast that we just did.
Yeah. I mean, it was very up and down roller coaster of emotions, but I think that's really depicts what's happened in the past 2 weeks, especially around the world, Catastrophic, heartbreaking shooting that happened in America to, great artistic music from Kendrick to movies to monkeypox.
I mean, it's crazy because the reason why I chose a couple of these topics was because obviously I'm a massive fan of Kendrick, but it was the overall theme of therapy, accountability. That's what I feel like a lot of people need to do with their lives these days, man, is just really look in the mirror and go, yep, I fucked up. I really did. I did it. It wasn't, oh, no, she did this, and then he went, no, you did it. You did it. Take accountability. So that was one of the main reasons why I brought that fucking album.
That's nice. That's the best bloody thing you've said on this podcast. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, so that's why I brought that album up. And then I brought up the Everything Everywhere Nowheres because, like, it's kind of based around, like you said, the LBGT alphabet people.
No, Nathan.
But yeah, overall, like, a lot of sensitive topics that we as humans are still trying to figure out. I don't know why we're still trying to figure this shit out. It's not that fucking hard, but that's why those topics were brought up. But yeah, so what do you got planned for the next couple of weeks, Miss Alex King?
Man, I don't know. I've really been like taking accountability, as you say. Don't do that face.
Oh, what?
And, looking in the mirror and really asking myself, what do I want to do with my life? Like, I'm at a point now where I don't have children like yourself. I don't have a partner. I can really do whatever the fuck I want.
Yes.
So it's kind of just honing into that. I've started back my acting course again. So just doing heaps of acting, making music, all that fun stuff. What about yourself?
So next week I'm just trying to figure out how to get the funds to fucking pay this $3,000 bill for the MIQ that I didn't want to stay at. I got
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I've got an interview with Liz Gunn coming out in the next couple days. So by the time you see this pod, it may already be out. So go and check that out. But yeah, just the usual little hustle grind, you know, always making something, always trying to make something out of nothing.
Yeah. Like we always say every single week, if you have any topics or questions that you'd like to ask us, make sure you comment them down below or follow us on our Off the Top podcast on Instagram, where you can DM us or ask us some questions and topics there as well. Thank you so much for coming back and watching every single week. We really appreciate the viewership and you guys, you know, taking the time out of your busy lives to watch what
us.
we have to say. Exactly. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss another episode from us again. Loves ya!
Talking to the little mans, I'm the lawyer of the block. Influential, you got fans, tell them when the also drop. Don't trust, take my hand, I'ma show you what I got. Nip set, independent.